Akuma, who have just been a little slow out the gate. So as we get into our third and final map of Vertigo, it is all to play for.
Yeah, I'm backing you there. I'm hoping that it's going to be kept competitive. I do think the individuals could definitely make it so for in the IRAE. It's certainly not going to be as comfortable for Akuma either as that Inferno was, so perhaps a little bit easier to get some of those punishments in. It's definitely the most middle ground map we've seen so far between them. And well, it's going to be a very quick push up towards ramp. Nothing out of the ordinary, I suppose, at least for these three players. Obviously, though, we can see the bomb is, I believe, elsewhere. They're leaving a couple of players behind. No, never mind. The bomb is joining up with them. It's actually just Railway they left holding the flank for the moment. They tried to make that a very quick push, making a lot of noise, hoping maybe someone would attempt to flank even down the ladder. But once that doesn't come, the smokes go down, they execute in, and, well, despite taking a small bit of damage, I don't know how much is going to be done about stopping this bomb plant, even as the nades come in, because they did initially fake it out to try to avoid all of that damage, and, well, do so successfully. So we've got a 5-on-5 retake, and it doesn't look like it's going to wait very long, Wolfie.
Welcome to Vertigo. DemQ tagged up. Hurtfris fully blind. Does find the first. The trades, though, again, starting to go the way of the T side. Dinks onto more and more players with both Psycho and DemQ now desperately low on HP. Spam through to deny any kind of a ninja defuse. They keep trying to get on it. This time, Davcost with the full right-click spray down. X5 getting yet more damage. And IRAE start off with a strong A hit. Good utility, good use of the angles. A nice little fake out from Hurtfrisk as well to get the nade stack out the way. And then a clean conversion.
Yeah, fantastic work. Almost a team effort as well. Railway unfortunately wasn't able to chime in, but he did assist one of them. He said in the IRAE will need to get a strong start ideally here, and the pistol's certainly going to be a beginning to that. Again, I don't want to judge things too early on because we know what these force buys have been capable of so far just throughout this series. Both of these teams, they've let multiple slip. And you can see kind of that's even reflecting in the way that they've been playing these anti-ego rounds throughout moments of the previous map, and even this early one here now as well for in the IRAE. They've been playing them much more passively. And have been going also usually pretty heavy on the rifles, which you can understand. Just the 1 Mach 10 for Railway. Railway. Struggled with that word for some reason.
Yeah, I don't want to be taking risks, so... Either rifles. Nice little nade coming in. Tags down a couple of players within the danger zone for those deagle body shots. Does look like IRAE near enough wholeheartedly now committed to hitting onto the A site. All 5 players at the bottom of the ramp. Sensei tucked behind the first set of sandbags. A little boost coming out as well. Sensei through the smoke will open things up. And almost immediately the danger goes up a notch. Flowing on 62, and you can see with that pick, IRAE suddenly want to change the point of attack. Railway's going to boost Hurtfrisk up over on B. Jakey not going to be aware of this just yet. He's holding through the girders instead. Timing going to be everything. They try and sell it with utility. Flowing chews on another deagle bullet and will be finally put down by Sergis. The bomb still unsure where to head, and with 20 seconds looping back towards an A site that now has presence. A third man starting to cheat the rotation across. Psycho looking to join Sergis and Sensei on the site itself. Utility goes down, but Psycho is still here, and if they can deny that bomb plant, this gets nasty. They've done it. The frag's still going their way, and Davcost 1v2 through the smoke will be taken out. Akuma, in the chaos of a late A site hit, steal away the force buy.
And what did we say? Okay. Yeah, you just never know what's going to come with these two teams at the moment. It's, I guess, kind of a product of what can be crazy CIS Counter-Strike sometimes, but yeah, the rivalry is heating up at the moment. Back and forth. Every round almost. You don't get this too often anymore, Wolfie, with how the economy tends to pan out now. You used to be able to get it a lot with teams constantly back and forth breaking each other. But yeah, it feels a little bit like the old days. We'll see whether it keeps up or not, though, because it's a very similar buy for in the IRAE. Not a good nade. Gets away actually pretty well from that, all things considered. Only takes 5 damage. Let's see, because he is going to start actually just straight up challenging now on those players peeking in from the stairs. Need to be a bit cautious. I definitely don't want to see them giving away opportunities that don't need to be, but you also do want to kind of impose yourself a little bit in these earlier rounds. Condition your opponents, I suppose, to expect it a little bit. As you said, though, the split coming in. Railway, he needs to be careful, though, because he's been wrapped on himself now over the scaffolding, and rather did actually move around the generator just in time to avoid DemQ. And, well, with the help of his teammate, they found the bomb site itself, but the bomb is still on its way over. It's going to take a while, and I believe Zergis is in a position to cut it off, but no! He goes down. Sensei gets the kill elsewhere, and, well, look at the health on all three of these surviving players, so I don't know if a bomb plant's going to be an easy task, and, yeah, it's looking like they've been denied already. Flowin's left alone.
That got very worrying for a short period of time. 1v2 now, though. Flowin, as you said, left alone on just 5 points of health. How much can he really be expected to get done here? Creeping his way up, he is going to need a very quick headshot if he wants to make this round a reality. Does have an isolated fight at the very least. MQ down on 53. Playing an off angle though, and on top of the drywall, hits a clean headshot. Akuma get away with one there. Their second round on the board. The full eco to come as well. An opportunity to stabilise that CT side early.
Yeah, but knowing this game, they're going to lose to the Glocks now, so we'll wait and see. I'm not too confident. T250 and a Deagle even being bought up. A couple of kills definitely available potentially for India. We'll see whether they can actually get it done or not. What was the play? Over towards ramp, it looks like. Yeah, Railway had a decent spawn, so he's going to try and see if he can maybe catch someone peeking through. As I said, when you're against these weaker buys, you might play a bit more aggressive just to condition your opponents into expecting that aggression then come the gun rounds. And that can just kind of slow down their pace in general, give you a bit more room to get your own aggressive smokes and such down if that's what you're looking for. Good damage already from DemQ. To be cautious though, spam then return down to 69. Not a nice number in this case. Oh, and now the MP9 could just clean it all up. I don't think he's going to go forward. He should though, honestly, with the MP9 at this stage, just push in. Flash behind you, there's a teammate going to throw it through. Easy money coming his way, and Sensei steals a little bit, but I suppose it's only fair. He's got enough anyway, 1800 there.
Nice and clean, nice and simple, and a nice money-making exercise, as you said. Building up a nice bank on that CT side, which is going to be so important moving forwards. Looking for a little bit of a bonus round into this one. Serg is going to stick around on that MP9. AK's across the board, of course, for IRAE. First time they've really had a rifle buy and been able to try and have some impact. Taking that early ramp control, the set smokes come out up close and personal though. The MP9 spamming away, he's got a lot of work done, and through the smoke he'll finish it. X5, the first man to go down, but Flowin's doubled up in the meanwhile. He's lost all his support. Somehow Sergis gets away, and gets away with another kill. Psycho, meanwhile, on the other side of the map, has pushed through mid and got two, and Davkost, well, the chaos has not paid off for IRAE. He's left 1v3. Has managed to slip the net somewhat as he's made his way up the mid ladder. But they should start to smell a rat sooner rather than later. They've got to flank onto the A ramp. They've got two players peering down it at some point. Akuma will realise that he's slipped the net and start to make the rotations back around to lock him out of things. He can even just get the bomb down. That would be a fantastic win now for the T side, just to give them that extra little bit of cash. Creeping his way around at the moment. Davkost being very cautious. No idea, no information whatsoever on where this CT defense is. Unfortunately for him, it looks like he's going to walk right into it on A. Jakey. Holding for the CT angle. Actually not going to clear it. Davkost instead desperately looking for this pick. I thought he was going to double back towards B. He's now made the move back around again, and this is where Jakey will be activated. Clean dink and conversion. Akuma have their fourth, and they get away with absolute murder there on the MP9.
Yeah, a bunch of AKs in their possession now as well, so gonna be rocking those one-tappy guns, and it's only gonna complicate things further for IRAE as they're put back onto another eco. Full loss bonus obviously going, so you do see a lot being spent. Railway goes down to 900. 3400 though on the T side. It's gonna give him enough for his buy either way, especially if they can get a bomb plant, which has got to be at least the goal considering how much they put into this. Let's see, so far ramp has been slightly troublesome for them, and they do again when they move in this direction. Sensei, he's warmed up big time since back on map number 1, where he was missing a couple of those shots that normally he would be landing. But now those flicks looking on point, and already with a man advantage, I was going to say could be extended here, but a nice shot from Hurtfrisk gives them a 4-on-4. It's going to be tough to capitalize off of, but every single kill, I suppose, will help in the long run.
Just going to aggressive around the corner of this smoke as well, and through it. He's very lucky to be alive. 20 HP as he escapes from that fight. Bomb making its way around, a mid flank in progress, but Sergiz is there to cut that out. If he deals with it, it should be relatively easy sailing to mop up the remaining kills on the server. Davkos swings in, will be spammed down by Sergiz. And again, IRAE just looking a little out of sorts here. They're going to try and make something happen towards mid now. A couple more players swinging in off the back of that early tag. Potentially then look to split B off the back of it. Sergiz to be tested once more. He knows. Smells a little bit of a rat. Flashbang into the B ramp. Not going to catch anyone. And here we go. Swing coming through. Sergiz swings wide to it and gets the double spray down. Will be gunned down in the back of the head, but he's done his job. He's done his work. Railway left in the 1v3. Recovered AK at his side, but not quick enough on the draw. Sensei bringing another level here to Vertigo and a solid 5-1 platform for Akuma.
Yeah, this is more like, I guess, what I would have been expecting coming into the game in general. Akuma to get themselves command and leads again. They are the more solid team out of these two, at least in terms of what they've shown. Obviously, you've got some. I wanted to say experience, but then when you've got a player like Davkos and in the IRAE, I don't know if I can legally say that without getting killed by a bunch of people. So do want to be slightly cautious, since Davkos obviously he's been around a long time and has had some tremendous showings in the past. Now would be a good time for him to wake up on that off the challenge Sensei. But at the moment, anyway, not getting too much of a chance to do so. It's the opening kill going in favor of the CTs already. MQ with a pretty big opening just before that smoke actually bloomed, and well, they have lots of time to just sit on the advantage now. All the pressure on the T side, and well, it's going to be tough for them as they walk into Psycho. Oh, he cleared it, didn't realize initially he spotted him, and with that, Railway does go down, but at least the trade is there.
Gives them a little bit of breathing room. 2-on-4. Jakey isolated on the side, but does very well and turns with the flashes to spray down the last man. This is the Akuma we expected to turn up all day long, flying at the moment on the CT side of things, as once again, IRAE, no bomb plant. Going to be in a very awkward spot. I would have thought the half buy, but Railway's going to pick himself up a hero AK. Looks like the rest of the team not quite on the same wavelength. They're going to be going towards Deagles and armor. Hoping that Railway can get some heavy lifting done with that hero rifle. See what the play is. Limited in their utility. Couple of smokes, one flashbang. Looks like they want to try and pile this pressure in towards B. Flashes out over the top to try and catch Jakey a little isolated. See how much they can get done from there. Queuing up now in towards that stairwell. Jakey playing proactively as well. Spots out Railway on the low ground. Does well to back out of the first pick. Now the smoke goes in to buy a little more time. Still an isolated figure, though, up on this B-bomb site. Timing could be absolutely everything here. Jakey is trying to play around his own smoke. X5 is going to be boosted over it. He'll know there's a second player there at the very least, and the AK spam gives a lot away about the play. The flash is perfect, but he's blinded up as well. And now the rotations, now the utility and the resets come in. Jakey grabs his second, and that's the hero rifle gone. That's Railway removed from the round. 3 Deagles remaining, and Akuma just stretching their legs here. Jakey on for the ace. The spray down is clinical. All 5 kills. Clean as you like. That half buy is mopped up.
That was crazy. Alright. Jakey with some great AK control. Some ballsy plays, though, as you said. Heavily committing. We'll see whether that can do, if those sort of plays continue, if IRAE can punish them. But it was something we even mentioned coming into the beginning of this, that might be an issue for them, because they struggled with it back on Inferno, a map that they weren't as well drilled on. Obviously, their Mirage looked absolutely fantastic, but even then, it was a struggle to get it over that finish line in the end. Obviously, things here have not kicked off on a high note. We've got the Brazil's score line, and well, we've got DemQ, who actually only manages to get the 1. It looked like potentially the lineup was available. Trade at least going to be there, but again, Sergiz is looking to push forward. Sensei's playing from the sandbags, but the molly forces him out. Flowing catches Sergiz as well as that smoke faded away, and well, it's looking much better for IRAE, as Psycho's also denied in his attempt to push forward on ramp, all onto Jakey, and well, a 4K, it's a lot to ask of him. This time they've actually got weapons to work with as well.
Picks himself a nice little angle and does get damage onto 2, but can't convert either. A little unfortunate there. I think Akuma just guilty of their own success, if nothing else. Looked a little keen to get aggressive, a little keen to be proactive, and then getting caught out by it. They take their first time out, use this as a reset opportunity. Calm everything down. Still going to be able to buy into this round, of course. Jakey with the ace 2 rounds ago. He's on 12k. DemQ's on nearly 14. There's plenty of money to go around. And they'll want to really put a statement down in this first half. They will want to put this game to bed early. They do not want to allow, like IRAE managed on Inferno, that creep back to a respectable scoreline. So as the buy comes in again, expect to see some aggression from Sensei on the AWP.
I think you're looking for more than a respectable scoreline, though. If you're in the IRAE right now, you're looking for that IEM Fall spot for yourself. So I need to see more of a drastic turnaround in performance in comparison to what we've seen. And it's been a struggle for any of these teams, really, to start chaining rounds truly together. Obviously, just even on Mirage and Inferno, it was constantly back and forth. So I want to see whether they can make this happen now. Of course, it would be a good test of the level that they're at. But early smokes, nades over towards the ramp. They are going to be as normal, tossed down by Akuma. Not really looking to challenge it for what I think is the first time. Feeling a little bit more timid after being punished for it in that previous round. Everyone, though, focused around the ramp. Unfortunately for Akuma, they haven't digressed anywhere, so they're not going to get this info very early.
Thinking about boosting up, but just resetting. Very limited utility over towards this A site now, and they're creeping up in IRAE. 3 players on the bottom of the ramp, one starting to queue up side lane. That's going to be Chloe. Should be spotted and is. Just shows a foot through the corner of the smoke. Zerg is happy to take advantage. DemQ now setting himself behind these sandbags late. They do have mollies to clear him out, however, and with the flashes, they may well smell a rat. One goes out towards the side lane. They're yet to clear DemQ out of this one. Herfrisk is half holding for it, but they turn at the worst possible moment. The double spray down connects, and now Zerg is putting the nail in the coffin. X5 doing what he can, but he's dinked up. He's got 9 HP, does very well to deal with Psycho. He's being pincered in from all sides, and Sensei running at him with a 5-7 will give Akuma the guaranteed lead at the half.
Yeah, like that, a little bit of a switch up, challenging it later on rather than the initial peaks down ramp. The IRAE just gets shredded to bits. Another convincing round as well that continues to build that economy for Akuma, and obviously the lead, as you said, now giving them at the very least a nice lead at the half time, and doing so on the CT side here of Vertigo. Impressive. I mean, I don't think I see double-digit CT sides too often on Vertigo. Whether Akuma are going to reach that or not is the question. I think in the IRAE do desperately need at the very least 6 rounds here on their T side. That's got to be the goal for recovery. Actually, one thing I do want to check is obviously very limited in terms of how many games they've actually played on the map, but having a look here, they actually win 60% of their rounds on the T side. 60.5%, so this is not really boding too well here, having a look at their stats. Oh, I thought he was going to peek that. Thankfully didn't. Davcost was already posted up.
Looks like they want to try something a little quicker again in IRAE. Everyone queued up on B. The boost is in. The damage is done. Railway takes the dink. Jakey a little unfortunate not to be able to confirm that kill. Psycho not having the net utility to punish it. Looks like it is still going to be this B hit, though. Still all the presence here. Jakey wallbang down, and now they start to open things up. The backside occupied. The Molotovs buy a little bit of room for the rotations, but still isolated fights being taken. And with that man advantage, they are absolutely charging in on the T side. Now the dinks come through in response. DemQ deals with one. Psycho takes advantage of the low HP bars, and Davcost up close and personal somehow gets 2. Keeps his team in it in all reality. X5 is thinking about the flank, but DemQ has read it to perfection, and now Railway dinked up in the opening engagement. He's left with a 1v2. He will be able to recover bomb. That's in the middle of sight. AWP in hand. At least negates some of the health problems he's got. There's no offensive utility on the CT side, so they won't be able to just nade him out of this. Taps the bomb. Posts up close on these generators, knows he needs an early peak. He needs something to swing his way. He's going to push the issue and get caught in transition. Akuma bail themselves out of dodge once again. A 9th round on the board for the CT side. Another half-buy economy situation for INDE IRAE. This one is falling apart at the seams.
It almost seems like Akuma were angered that they fell short of that win by such a close margin on Mirage that they just wanted to make this a very fast one. They were like, all right, screw it, we'll make this third one a quick one, forget about that one. And honestly, so far I've done a really good job at it. Again, considering this is their CT side, this has been incredibly dominant, and well, despite this being a buy here for INDE IRAE, you can see they have very few nades, only a couple of smokes and a flash in play. No one aggressive around the sandbags, I don't believe, thankfully. Otherwise, they could be in trouble without that, as I said, mollies and such to clear it out. But either way, getting onto the bomb site is not going to be an easy task, and even just that slight damage that's being done off of these spams isn't making things any easier for them. Just out of the way of the nade. Oh no, never mind. X5 took it.
Chewed on it.
Need a big mouth to chew on a nade.
They're going to go for the retake here, CT side. 3 players queued up. They're waiting for a flash over. Davkost up close is the first issue, but he's dealt with. And now with X5 tagged up, this starts to get really rough. Floween doing what he can to stabilize things. Just has to buy time, and he spotted the second man behind the sandbags. Make it 3! Floween with just a Galil has done it all. The bomb, meanwhile, is making its way over towards B. Jakey now being pinched in from 2 sides. Too many angles, does well to even get one, is quickly taken away from him, however, and Sensei left in the 1v3. Again, it feels like slight over-aggression, right, being punished by INDE IRAE. Akuma, they wanted to retake the ramp. They didn't throw any real flashbangs or utility to support that goal, and then they didn't do their homework clearing the corners, so it's going to be a third round for INDE IRAE. Buys will, of course, keep coming in for the CT side. If they can get 4, 5, make this a halfway competitive half, then they would have something to work with headed to the CT side.
Yeah, it's a start. As I said, 6 rounds wouldn't be a terrible position. Managed to find that, get the pistol. You have a chance of even tying things up pretty quickly then off the bat, just heading into that second half. Sensei saves us up. They have plenty of money there to get the weapons dropped over. It's only one that needs to be given to Psycho. I think they'll probably give Jakey one as well, just so that he can get full nades. Keep things a little bit more even. Is that going to be the case or not? Yeah, indeed, he gets his full utility out, so someone's, I presume, got a weapon, and indeed, they dropped him the M4. So it's actually kind of a similar situation to what we see in Akuma dealing with in the first half of that previous map on Mirage, where they kept just falling short of breaking the economy. In the IRAE, they have a chance of breaking the economy here, so we need to make sure that they don't fall short, of course, if they want to be on track for a decent half at all. And well, that is not a good start. Sensei already catches the first man trying to creep in on scaffolding. Sergis, though, decides to stick around, getting incredibly aggressive, and will be punished for it. So we're back into the 4-on-4, and despite that nade damage there onto X5, I think INDE IRAE are feeling pretty relieved that they were able to pull one back. Although, as I said, Railway walks out mid, and then Hurt Frisk gets a chance on Jakey on B. It's just chaos all over.
Site taken with that as well. Sensei's trying to rotate in, trying to buy a little bit of time, but MQ is aggressive down the ramp, and he's going to be caught looking completely the wrong way. Bomb should be able to make its way onto site here. Sensei with the crack angle to try and do something. Reaction times need to be good, and they're not quite on it. Molotov to try and maybe do some damage to the planter, but it goes just a split too deep. She said this is breaking point for the CT economy, and they're aware of it. Can't afford to really roll the dice on a 2-on-3 retake into B on Vertigo. Instead, they'll back away. Psycho and Sensei will save a couple of rifles with the loss bonus ticking in. Sensei potentially drops. Gives something to work with. 4th round to be dialed in. INDE IRAE with a nice little recovery towards the back end of this T side.
Yeah, this is what I was asking to see from them as well. I want to see their ability to make those comebacks happen. Obviously, it hasn't been all that necessary so far, considering just how back and forth it tends to have been with the rounds. Saves, though, might give them a chance to buy her again. And it's going to be slightly limited on utility on both Jakey and Dem, who are buying for themselves, but you can see they've managed to work it out pretty well with Sensei then dropping one over. And overall, the nades are pretty solid as well, because the other 3 are able to go ahead and just get the full set. So, decent position for Akuma still in the IRAE. Unfortunately, yet to break through. But if they get this, then I think the 6th round is basically coming their way for free.
Should be the case. That would represent, again, a very solid recovery. Creeping out B. Jakey caught unawares. No utility. They go silently and it works perfectly. Psycho now full blinded the second. This should be a save already. There's nothing more the CTs can say about this round. There's so much utility left because they crept so silently into it. IRAE have got near enough 3 banks of utility to stall off any hope of a retake. 2 mollies, a smoke, 2 HEs and a flash. CT side of Akuma will indeed satisfy themselves with saving 3 rifles. The hump will come in to try and remove what they can. And Akuma really need to hold on to everything because, as you said, their economy is utterly broken going into the last round of this first half. They need all 3 rifles. And damn Q, far too aggressive with it. Hurtfrist takes him out, and now they're coming. They are swarming on these remaining rifles, and the shots are being missed by Akuma Sensei, the only man left, and he gets his head ripped off for good measure. 9-5, and a broken economy for Akuma to try and make it double digits.
Yeah, I mean, they've started to build up a bit of a loss bonus, at least, since it's been a few rounds in a row from IRAE, but it's not going to give them the full investment by any means to try and fight for the double digits. 6 rounds should be available for IRAE unless things go tragically wrong, and, well, that has been the case quite a few times throughout this series, so I wouldn't count it out from happening. See how it ends up playing out. A single FAMAS alongside 4 Deagles. Only positive being they have a ton of nades, or at least a ton in comparison to what they should have with such a weak buy in terms of firepower. But IRAE know that they're not up against all that much, so they're not in a rush this time to head in towards ramp or anything. They'll wait out the smokes, they'll wait out the utility happily, and hope for Akuma really just to make a mistake, because what they've got available, ideally, you do want to be easing some of the pressure with some early aggression coming in to maybe take a kill or 2. So far, though, we're not really seeing that. Could see, I believe, Jakey drop down from B. I think he's up on the wooden plank right now, or at the very least has that early info so they could go ahead and stack up on A.
Oh, read the boost like a book. X5 with the opening. Takes some damage, but the kill is all that really matters. A site under siege. Rotations are coming in. They're going to try and boost Sensei up to get him over the top of the smoke. See if he can spot anything out at all, because this needs to find some kills. He needs something to make the retake viable. They are really lacking in the utility department. There we go. Sensei grabs one. Trying to keep it competitive. DemQ with one more before he's traded down. And 3-on-3. They start to open things up. Psycho has a smoke for the bomb. Has a defuse kit for it as well. That will head out. Timing's going to be everything here. Psycho's going to try and double flash himself, and I think just get onto the bomb at this point. He heads out the lane. Now he's going to try and stick it inside of the smoke. Sensei defends him for the first. Psycho ducking and weaving, but it's not good enough. X5 next up, and he gets 2 of them. Davkos finished the job. 9-6. The recovery is in. IRAE with a solid return, and we'll have to see if they can drag it even closer after the break.
Forgetting who I was, or have to look back that far. And I don't want to forget who, get who. And are you just fucking around in my mind one last time? I'm gonna be real honest this time. I'm okay with it, I am more than fine. I'm
Akuma again just taking their foot off the gas right at the death of things here. A 9-6 half. It could have been a lot better for them. A solid beginning and just losing control towards the death. Heading onto the T side though with still a significant advantage. And if they can get this pistol over the line, it should be relatively smooth sailing. All sets of utility picked up as they're going to lean their presence across the map early on. Nothing fast.
Yeah, we keep thinking it should be smooth sailing at points. So whenever that is said, I feel like it's probably not going to be. So we'll see how rough and shaky the waters are from this point forward, I suppose. And well, either way, a good start for Akuma. Dem survives on a single point of health after being dinked down. It's very lucky he survived as well, considering how much he's actually invested into those nades. That would have been a lot to lose. Would have potentially ruined whatever plan they have in mind, which looks to be the A execute to come true. X5 trying to do what he can about delaying it. Not actually going to be doing even too much damage right there, despite actually shooting out an entire clip. So, not the ideal start. They don't do much about actually stopping this push. It's going to have to be crisp shots landing as the push comes true. And X5 is really struggling. Not much of a commitment from Jakey, though. He just kept them busy for so long. But Flowin still able to pull out 2 kills somehow. A bit of a miracle there, to be honest. And well, with the damage that's done now, Hurtfrisk has a chance to get this one over the line. But unfortunately isn't able to do anything about that bomb going down, and suddenly it's Davcost on just as rough of a place rather as both of these T's are. He health to work with. He has a kit, which is the positive of obviously, but as he pushes forward, he's going to find 2 players waiting for him. A trade should at least be available, and it's just Sensei who straight up takes the frag. It's double digits for Akuma, a score that was eluding them for a very long time there towards the end of the previous half.
Yeah, it felt like it should have been theirs a lot sooner. Couldn't quite get it done, but now with the damage done, nice and smooth. 10 on the board for Akuma. Force Spike coming in for IRAE. Bits and pieces though. An MP9 in the hand of Hurtfrisk. Deagles for everyone else. And again, Akuma happy to play this super passive initially. Just holding for any overwhelming aggression on the ramp. It looks like the CTs want to re-aggress into this. There's a lot of presence here, and it's an absolute slaughtering house. Railway with a clean 1D opens things up, and you can see the T side of Akuma again starting to get a little nervy as X5 finds a second, and that's one of the AKs down early. 3 on 5, they're starting to scramble. They're going to try and loop back into B, and the timing is going to be everything. Hurtfrisk drops the smoke. That buys time for these rotations, and playing close to it with the MP9, he could be absolutely lethal. Timing is going to be absolutely everything. He swings, but he can't quite find it. Jakey with 2, and Psycho 1 more before they trade down, and somehow Akuma are getting themselves back into this. A 1v2 now, flowing on a recovered Galil. He's trying to be a bit cheeky and play the corner of this smoke. Psycho pushing up proactively has actually passed him and turns for the kill. Akuma by the skin on their teeth get past the force by IRAE. Very unfortunate not to get that one done.
I think that was potentially a 4x3 moment there. I haven't seen those in a while. You used to always get them back in the day when everyone rocked their 4x3 reses. And even I've stopped that now. I'm just playing the old native. I don't know, today it just feels like old CS. Lots of back and forth rounds. People getting 4x3'd. It's just fun times. That's what it is. 11-6 though. Akuma just about escaped the loss to another force buy, which has obviously been... It's been troubling them throughout this entire best of 3 so far. Have to clean it up, obviously coming into the end of this 3rd and final map if they want to ensure their spot at IEM Fall. And, well, up against only pistols here, it doesn't look like they'll have too much trouble. There's not Kevlar behind everyone, it's only X5 who actually has some to work with. However, though, the boost works out and X5 hits a shot on the Sensei as well. Psycho's pretty low on health, so this is getting incredibly scary right now. NQ returns 1 kill, thankfully, and, well, Jakey doing a good job. Nice control, gets the wall bang onto Hurtfrisk. And then Davcost's just going to be spammed down as well. He was already tagged up pretty heavily, so it's 12-6. Akuma working with double the scoreline of their opponents. But if IRAE can get going off the back of this first gun round here, what they showed us, we've been able to come back into that previous half as well. I'd have to believe that they could definitely still give us a competitive showing here and could start clawing things back a bit. So Akuma want to try and keep this early momentum going in their favour.
And they're not making it easy for themselves, are they? Consistently losing men to the half buys. You see the reinvestment into this round significant. Sensei and Jakey basically broke. Looking for the early ramp control this time. As always, a flood of smokes comes through to try and punish. And oh, Davcos, what is that? Sensei creeping his way up the scaffolding. Wall bang through the tarpaul, and they're setting to have another crack at it. Davkost and Flowing holding the side lane for now. Timings are going to be everything, but with that early man advantage, they're looking to press the issue. Davkost on a great angle here, misses his shot, tries to retreat and will be punished for it. Sergiz levels things back out 4-on-4, and he's looking for more. Flowing will at least be traded down by the molly, and 3-on-3 at the moment. X5 cuts a very lonely figure out on A. They don't actually want to commit to this. Instead, they're silently backing away. They will double back over towards the B bomb site and try and push right back into Hurtfrisk once again.
This really has been a chaotic game. We said we were expecting it when we seen what map was coming up as the decider, of course. But it's been quite crazy, and that's just not because it's a name. And that's not just because rather it's a name Akuma used to go on there. Jesus, my brain, work for me. Hello. Got the words out eventually, Wolfie. It'd be frustrating, just like it is to, of course, see yourself falling down the scoreline a large part of the map here, as Hurtfrisk is going to do his best to hang strong, and he does. He gets the two of them. A nice little initial spam from Railway also had taken out one of the players making their way over the scaffolding, so a strong hold from the CT side. And what was looking to be a little bit scary there as that B split came in.
And an immediate break of the economy. Akuma have to call the tactical because they've spent so long and lost so many players to those half buys that when one goes wrong, that's it. Psycho can buy Shaw, Sergiz and Demq can join him, but Sensei and Jakey repeatedly reinvesting have absolutely nothing to work with. Scraping the bottom of the barrel if they do want to get something together, but then you weigh that up against the fact that you look at IRAE and they are one round from breakpoint as well. Just a 2400 loss bonus. If this one goes wrong, there will not be a buy into the next, so Akuma go for it. The force up is called, 3 AKs, a couple of Deagles for Sensei and Jakey. If Akuma win this round, they may well win the game, the series. Breaking point for IRAE. This one has to be clean, it has to be clinical. No more room for errors over on the CG side of things. The time has run out, and it's going to be early ramp control again for the T side. Just some probing initial utility flowing through all of it. He's trying to spot Sergiz out. Instead, they're just going to back out of it initially. Akuma not too interested. Sergiz does take a lot of damage through the smokes.
And it looks like actually Akuma want to work in for the mid control. As you said, Sergiz being weakened up unfortunately over on the A side of things, but he has at least kept them busy for the moment, and we'll see whether these frags can come true. The nade stack is a nice idea, but thankfully for Railway, he was watching, gets a slight warning, manages to just get that range a small bit, so it does some damage. He gets to at least hang on to his life for now. Even returned a nade, I believe, in return, as a favor, rather. Sent them retreating back towards ramp, surprisingly. As we mentioned, Sergiz didn't have too much success around here early with the spams, so just waited out the smokes and look to try and approach into it a little bit later on in the round than prior. Not working with too many nades though, only a single smoke, which means actually getting onto the bomb site itself will require pretty much just winning out the aim duels. So I think they've actually decided against it because of that, and have now begun to shift their attention back towards B. They've got to be relatively quick, there's only just over 30 seconds left.
Running out of time, and they've got 2 players to clear out of this B site as well. Frisk and Railway with the crossfire. 25 seconds. Using both of the pillars here, the CT side. No Molotov to clear it either. This is going to be an incredibly frustrating setup to deal with. Railway's got a molly. 15 seconds, it goes down. They've got to try and get onto site now. They're going through the flames, and the frags are coming. Chris finally shows himself from 90, but is traded down. 2v3. Bomb has to be planted. Sensei will be able to get it down, but he's on his own now against 3 and only a Deagle in hand. It was never going to work. IRAE, they close that gap down. The opportunity to break them is gone with the wind. At least the bomb plant down for Akuma. Gives them the potential to maybe buy some pistols into the next, but a clean dealing with the force buy from IRAE.
Yeah, I mean, Akuma have still got a bit of a lead, obviously, going for themselves, so I don't think they're going to be too worried yet. That was a round also where Sensei was double eco, so they decided to just buy into it with also the fact that IRAE were so low in economy themselves. It made sense. At least the bomb plant's found out of it. Some damage is definitely done. They'll have an opportunity coming on to the next gun round to still potentially snatch back control before things start to kind of shift in favour of IRAE. Oh, that timing for Hurtfrisk was quite awkward. take any damage, fortunately, and should just about get that smoke down now, and well, maybe even take a kill with him. Not quite. Either way, that weakens up a player who already doesn't have very much to work with, lacking the Kevlar and only having a pistol. So I'm not expecting any trouble from this point onwards. INDE IRAE with a fantastic start into the round. Quick two-man advantage. Hanging on to that ramp control as well, which allows them to keep their range and just not really let those pistols close into distance. Although with it being 3 Deagles that are peeking in now, I could get a little bit worried. They do need to be cautious. There's no need really to keep on fighting these. Actually with a teammate here waiting as well.
Still interested. Davkos prodding and poking. The spray down will connect and that will be it. Gap at 3. Half by really doesn't get anything done. A few players tagged up, but no kills found, and a decent baseline economy built for the CT side. This is, again, Akuma starting to take their foot off the gas a little bit, starting to get punished for it by INDE IRAE. They've made life a little bit difficult for themselves now. Even if they can take this round, there will still be buys from the INDE IRAE boys, and this is how they got back into that first map. Very nearly punished with it. No warp for the CT side. Full rifles, however, and again, the early utility dump. Characteristic of Vertigo on that A ramp, just exchanging nades initially. Vying for control. It's going to be over towards B once more. Leaning in that direction. Jakey with the bomb behind the CT smoke. Now they start to queue up. Right as Frisk retreats, they take the control. The pop flash into A is good from the CT side, though. They start to clear out this A ramp, and if they call it completely clear, rotations will be swift. Akuma trying to maybe borrow a play out of the INDE IRAE, but they've been silent up until now. Jakey with a molly in hand, the first to fall, and still around this pillar. Psycho and Sensei finally deal with Frisk. The molly is doing a lot of work. And it slowed the play down massively. The bomb's still making its way in. A missed Molotov, in fact, and Davkos looking to take advantage, has set himself brilliantly on the angle, but the flashes are better. X5 at least able to trade it to keep things competitive, and with so many low HP bars, Sergis really needs to get that bomb down now. Playing with fire, he's down on 11 HP. No nades to punish. Bomb will at least be planted. X5 with the reaction shot, though, leaves it all on Sensei. And 13 HP, he has got to contend with a 1v2. Flowing is on full health. X5 tagged up significantly. He has to play this perfectly, and Flowing is just up for the task. Double digits for INDE IRAE. The gap keeps on narrowing.
From what had been a 9-1 lead, I believe I'm right. Yeah, this is just crazy. What is going on? X5 is an absolute hero as well. So far here on Vertigo, was also back on Mirage when he was just playing nuts and out of his mind. I'm excited to see what this lad's able to do in the future. And well, maybe at IEM Fall, if they can keep this up. The comeback is truly on. As you said, double digits, it's something that looked impossible about 6 or 7 rounds ago. We didn't think we'd be able to hit this stage, but Akuma are really struggling on the T side. And honestly, we're really struggling on their CT side as well after INDE IRAE picked up their own first gun round once they got something going. Seems like just everything has shifted since. Spending what they can, obviously, with the lots bonus in play here on the Akuma side of things. And well, Frisk incredibly aggressive. An easy position to punish, but he still comes away with 2 kills, so it's not bad. The support from that flash is what lets him get the work done. Railway also ready for an instant trade. And well, let's see what the Deagles can do. Demq, only good for the 1, unfortunately, in on mid. It's a very volatile weapon there. It's unfortunate. The spam crosshairs on him, but it's just not landing. You're frustrated, aren't you?
Yeah, it's one of those things, but as the gap is just 1 round, INDE IRAE flowing with confidence. Akuma in need of some inspiration here. That T side just hasn't been it. Sensei finally with the AWP in hand is going to have a peer into the ramp. No early utility, and you can see the CT side are immediately wary, right? There's been no early smokes, none of that early throw from Akuma that they used to take the control, so happy just to sit back. Safe in the knowledge that not a lot has been taken. Now some utility starts to blossom. Missed CT smoke, lands on top of the sandbags, courtesy of the molly. And an interesting setup here from the CT side. We've got Floine in towards the sandbags. X5 on the pillar angle, I guess we'll call it. Another smoke goes in. That's looking more intentional now. Must be a one-way for X5. Molotov will now clear the sandbags, but already Floween has retreated to the relative safety with the site, and with 55 seconds left, they're starting to think about this execute. X5, surely unexpected in this position. No, Psycho checks and clears him. And now the pressure really starting to mount. Flashes over the top. Floween wants to get in and amongst it. Does well to find one and backs away alive. Puts an immediate spanner straight into the works for Akuma, and with 35 seconds left, they haven't got time to be messing around here. The smokes are being lined up. They have got to get into this site, and it is stacked. 3 players here for the CT side. Railway tight on the angle. Davcost at least will be smoked out. Railway can't do anything, and Psycho through the smoke has found Floween. 20 seconds. They will get this bomb down. Jakey not quite being tagged up by the spam of Davcost, starting to look a little desperate. Akuma 2v4. All the control in the world. The site is theirs. There's only one smoke for Hurtfrisk to try and get that onto the bomb. Davcost hoping that someone spams through, but the round is done. INDE IRAE will be saving what they've got. No picks to be found, no round to be had.
Yeah, we finally welcome Akuma back onto the board, and of course they're going to have to make that happen once again. Though there's so much money there on the INDE IRAE side. It's not going to be easy to just replicate it with another straight up A hit coming through. We'll see the adjustments, of course, that INDE IRAE make. So far, they haven't really had to. So on the CT side, though, right? So it'll be interesting to see what exactly else they have in the bag to try and throw at them now, especially with pressure perhaps mounting a little bit, since it actually cost them most of the economy they had built up just to get a buyback into this one. Are even going to keep that MP9 onto Floween. Could have upgraded it if they wanted to, but I suppose it does almost give them a bonus round approach into this one. 13 to 11 though. Akuma taking a relatively clean round as well actually gives them a slight, I suppose, security blanket at this point. It wouldn't be ideal if they were to lose this round, but it at least wouldn't be the end of the world. They wouldn't be put back onto the pistols like we had seen so many times already throughout this half. As well, Floween, I mentioned that MP9, he decided to hang on to it. He decided to get a bit more aggressive with it. He ends up getting wall banged. It doesn't do a lot of damage, thankfully, as it's a tick owl wall. He's actually going to follow up on the aggression. No! Sensei hits the flick. That was a massive opportunity for Floween. Even if he did get the first, it would have been tough to get more out of it with the second player up close, but a 1-for-1 would be so much better than what happened.
Clean start for Akuma once again. Davcost going to be put under pressure here. They're looking to take the ramp control. Pop flash to get him off his first angle of choice. Looks to reset. Jump peek to get the info, but he's pushed even further back by the Molotov. CT side on the ropes. Trying to be proactive with it. Molly goes in towards the side lane. Davcost resets. Heavy rotation here, and Sensei actually wins it. Just dry peeks into the angle. Somehow gets the better of his man. Railway only good for 1 and a dink. Hurtfrisk, this flank has got to be massive. X5 doing all he can to stay alive, but he's gone. And Hurtfrisk is left in the 1v2. Bomb being planted on the right side of things. They'll get out of this one. Hurtfrisk through the smoke keeps it competitive. 1v1 now. Sergey is up against Hurtfrisk. Sergey has actually gone through the smoke. Hurtfrisk has gone over it. He taps the bomb. Now they transfer in the smoke again, and Hurtfrisk has got it. The triple kill, the 1v2 on site, the 12th round for INDE IRAE. It falls apart at the worst possible moment for Akuma. The gap goes down to 1. As you said, they will be able to buy again, but that was their round to lose.
Yeah, and it's Hurtfrisk this time, so we're really getting kind of the well-rounded effort with everyone being able to step up when it's needed for INDE IRAE. And yeah, just a single round for Akuma. That was their chance. We've seen this cost them before on Mirage, of course, with it being so close, with them dropping against these weaker boys, and just in general dropping when they had chances like there to fully break the economy of their opponent. It will, as we both mentioned, have enough to get their own investment back in, but if this one goes south, suddenly you're tied up 13-13. It's likely a 14th round even for INDE IRAE before you have an opportunity to challenge once again. And remember, this is map 3. Everything is on the line right now. Akuma are definitely a team that I expected to be seen in the CIS IEM Fall. But with the performance we've got from INDE IRAE, it wouldn't be wrong to say that they could deserve it as well, especially if they do get this over the finish line. It'd be a well fought effort for sure. I think they'll have gained some fans, and very likely have already, in myself and you, but I'm sure some viewers as well, because they've got some impressive players there. I'd love to see again what they do, what they are able to do over time, as they really get a bit more time as a roster and a bit more experience at this level as well. I was thinking Davcost was going to find the fight, but no, just the smoke down, so he's good for now.
And a little cagey now as we do get towards the death of the third and final map of the evening. The IRAE wanting to fight this. Wanting to take the ramp control, and there is presence here for the T side to contest. Frisk, meanwhile, choose on a nade over on B. Timings could well decide this now. Heavy ramp presence, but 3 men here for the CT side to try and contest it. And as Akuma start to creep their way up, they're about to meet the very sharp end of this INDE IRAE defense. Floine nade out, that gives a little bit away, but as Sergis rounds the corner, he gets his head ripped off. And there is so much support there now. The nades start to flow in, 2 mollies to buy a little bit of time. Davcost even with one of his own. 45 seconds, and they are buying more and more room. Davcost still prodding and poking around this aggressive angle. Finally falls back to the relative safety of the site, and there's yet more utility. Another molly goes into the scaffolding. And with 30 seconds left, Akuma are pinned. They have to head into this A site somehow, but Sensei is caught on the cross, and Davcost just picks the angle, has another go at it. 5 on 3, Akuma just falling by the sword. Davcost continuing to frag. The utility isn't there to shut him out, and Psycho is his latest victim. Davcost with the AWP gets 4, levels the scoreline at 13 apiece, and Akuma just cannot get this T-side kick-started again.
Absolute monster right there, Davcost. I mentioned he's been pretty quiet overall for the boys. Through this best of 3 so far, that is anyway, but he tends to be up there towards the top of the scoreboard. And it's actually Hurt Frisk who's playing obviously pretty well in this game. He tends to be the one who's kind of the highest rated in general. X5 though, he's been popping off the last couple of games. He's normally in there alongside Davcost as well, contributing the frags, but let's see. Everyone right now is pretty equal on the score on the INDE IRAE side. It's been the team effort that has really let them get to this point. So they definitely want to keep that up throughout these final rounds, as we see a relatively decent buy, I suppose, from Akuma. You've got 3 AKs at least to work with, but a Galil and a Mac-10 with fairly limited nades in this round is not the position you want to be in. As they look to execute onto A, the nades not really landed the damage quite yet. Certainly nowhere near the same extent as to what they received as they worked their way up ramp. For I believe 2 HGs there, they did show 1 damage.
Not the greatest of exchanges, but they've got the control now. If INDE IRAE look to push this too keenly, they could be in a lot of trouble. Floine looking like he wants to be aggressive on it once more. Sergey's just the other side of this angle. Floine now backing off with the smoke. Timing's going to be absolutely everything. Akuma are waiting for over-aggression, not being given anything, but the rotation, interestingly, is making its way out of this A site. There's limited players here. Floine trying to line it up on the cross. Timing of the spray just not quite there. They will have the site here, Akuma. The damage is done, but the site is theirs. 5 on 5 retake. Only Vertigo could produce this in the full rifle buys. Psycho on one of the nasty angles, technically outside of a corner of the map. Expected though, backpack gives him away. Railway with the opening. Now they look to swarm. They need another quick pick. Jakey the next to fall. X5 behind Railway, good for it. Sensei now shows himself from those sandbags. There's no smoke for the bomb. They've got to get these kills. X5 grabs a quick double and they've got them pincered in. INDE IRAE again. Make it work on these retakes. Akuma just looking lost. Didn't know where to look. They were being shot at from everywhere. No smoke for the bomb, no matter. INDE IRAE happy to mop up the kills.
Just getting slowed down massively on those pushes, and as you said, by the time they move in, you've just got pretty much everyone to deal with. Another pause being called through. It's their final pause. They've been trying to utilize the pauses as well as they can, but so far it's only been, I believe, a single round here on the T side, right? No, wait, what am I wrong? No, sorry, since they got back onto their guns, that's what it is, because obviously they had a good start on it. I was wondering where I went wrong with that. I was like, there's only, because I had like one round, but it was one gun round I had in my mind. Silly me, silly Dean, I do that a lot. 1 round in between them. Surprisingly in favor of INDE IRAE after, again, what had been just such a tremendous start from Akuma. 9-1 at one point.
This is it. 3,400 loss bonus, and they are throwing everything at it, Akuma. If this goes wrong, the last buy is going to be SMGs, Galils, limited util. This is their chance. It's not an easy one by any means. AK's out, no AWP for Sensei. Utility's decent, but it will run out quickly on a map like Vertigo. 3 players queued up towards mid this time. Sergis left alone and through the smoke. The timing is disastrous. Flowing with a gift of an opening for IRAE, and now settling into this 2-1-2. X5 on the off angle, a clean headshot. Knows he's going to be flashed off, resets in towards CT spawn, and that is such a nice opening again. IRAE already 2 men to the good, and Hurtfrisk spray down makes it 3. Psycho and Sensei left grasping at straws. They wanted the mid control. It cost them everything. If it wasn't Vertigo and there wasn't a minute left on the clock still, they'd probably be thinking about saving, but they know they're going to be hunted. Bomb is left to hold for any mid-aggression. Sensei to have a prod and a poke at A. See if he's given anything away, but IRAE have been so disciplined on this CT side. Every move has been calculated, every risk deemed worth the reward. 35 seconds left in this 2-on-5. Psycho in towards mid, having a little bit of a wander. Sensei finally makes his silent approach up the ramp, and as soon as he does, Davkost is there to put his man down. 20 seconds, Psycho has to save. Keep the AK, give them something to buy around, because with 3,400 loss bonus, the maximum they can get, this last buy is still going to be ugly. Railway, the first one to push too far in. They'll hunt this. They've got the money to. They will try and push every single rifle out of the way. See what damage they can get. Psycho going to be naded, mollied. They're desperately trying to shut him down. He'll get away with it. But look at this buy. Look at how little they can afford to try and defend series point.
Yeah, that was a close one as well. Almost lost the AK. Bombarded with nades. As you said, this buy it's just not there. It's not at all for this final round, considering what's at stake. Well, potentially final round. Sorry, I was reading the script and just completely forgot that the chat don't know yet. Okay. Some people will take that serious. Davkost, he wanted the peak. I think forgot that there is a little bit of an area right there up close, so it slows him down slightly. Either way though, smoked off on the scaffolding and instead going wide. They are pinned in that corner, but what can he really do about it? Instead just drops the nade, and honestly at this point may just be happy to just let his teammate, I think, drop a smoke, I was thinking, towards the bottom of the ramp, and indeed they actually did. I think a molly stopped it from looming as deep as they would have wanted though. So there is quite a bit of room for Akuma to work with moving up into the scaffolding. So a slightly more passive hold on A is going to be forced out of IRAE, but honestly they've been very successful with just holding from the bomb site itself. They've been locking it down so far.
Davkost on the scaffolding swing to hold the side lane. Smoke goes down. Timing a little awkward. Psycho behind it. Molly and nades over the top to try and buy time on the ramp, but they're going to go on this. They're watching for the boost as well. Serg is aware of it, and they're putting 2 players up there. Sergis gets the first. A site near enough taken. Good damage found through the smoke, but it's being exchanged. Molotov to try and deny the plant. Sensei is low on HP. He's going to struggle, but he'll get out alive on 8 HP. He dives for cover. 4v5 once again. IRAE are asked to retake. Nice Molotov in. Finally, they get themselves the opening kill. Hurtfrisk with the first. Smoke goes onto the bomb, and now they look to swarm it. It's an all-hands-on-deck style of situation. Jakey close, but Davkost is up for it. They're defusing inside of the smoke. Hurtfrisk can't find the ninja. He's taken down, and it's 14 for Akuma. They make the A-site hit stick after so many rounds of trying. And they are now just 1 round away from OT. They will have another buy. Of course, IRAE will have one of their own. They've bought themselves a lifeline, Akuma.
That defuse was getting relatively close, I think, as well, but the wild spams through the smoke just ended up cleaning it up onto the last couple of players. 1 round to go here in the regulation. Is overtime going to be needed, or can the IRAE get it done now? Because they're going to be in trouble, honestly, if it goes to the OT. It's where the experience of the 5-man here of Akuma would likely shine through. The economy also wouldn't be an issue anymore, which has been a pretty big problem for them throughout this half, to be honest, despite rather, of course, being on that T side where normally it's not as big of a deal, especially if you can get the bomb down, but they've just been struggling. Again, very, very passive on the default. Similar with Davkost peeking through, he's actually going a little bit more aggressive this time himself. He swung wide and I think just got team flashed right there. Slightly unfortunate, could end up getting him caught, but no. despite being spotted, he will back away without taking any damage. Again, just kind of at least showing the presence, having Akuma aware of the possibility that they do have to at least challenge around this area. So they're taking their time, using their nades to move forward, and it just makes things more costly than it would be otherwise. But X5 can't capitalize despite having a fantastic opportunity there, and honestly having the jump on Sergis.
Huge miss. And now they double back. Now they put the pressure back on Hurtfrisk. This screams OT. Heavy stack from the CT side, and Hurtfrisk is on his own. So much to do. Needs an early kill here. Timing is going to be everything. Molly drop. Tries to buy himself a little bit of room. Demq's through it though, and he's got the kill. He's got the sight. 3 on 5. Demq, low HP, will fall. And they're trying to hold the cross here. The dink from Railway, but just not enough. Davkos next to hold it. A leg. They're getting so much damage, but no reward. Everyone is low. Molly onto the side. That'll deal with Sensei. Jakey next up. He's close, but he's only half HP. Dancing around it. They're trying to do all they can. The trade 1-for-1, and it's the pistol out. Jakey's got no ammo. He's got no health, but he's whiffed it. Davkos goes for the switch. He goes for the AWP, and it's 15 all. It will be overtime, and we will be back to see if Akuma can pull the impossible off after the break.
This world is slowing down. How can I fight it? How can I listen when there's no sound? Oh, the wolves are out. Yes, the wolves are out. Hold on to what you found. Days are deceiving. My head is spinning round. Oh, I hear now. Yes, the wolves are out. Inside of our reality. Satellites singing serenade. Send out a signal, please remember me. Send out a signal, promise to me free.
From 9-2 up to a 15 all OT, Akuma arguably lucky to be here. Jakey benefiting from a slightly unusual weapon switch from the AWP of Davkos at a critical moment. And a second chance at life here. T-side of Vertigo has been rough for them, to say the least. And they get something going here. Fast ramp control. They immediately want to put this CT side to the sword. And INDE IRAE, they're a little isolated. X5 does well to even trade the initial kill. And 4-on-4 ramp control is conceded.
Yeah, that's been almost the standard throughout, though. Not too common though that the actual quick 1-for-1 trade tends to come in. It's been avoided the majority of the time, with both teams playing fairly conservatively as they kind of inch their way forward, and in the case of the CT is backwards from the initial contact. Yeah, the 4-on-4 for now with Railway actually in a fantastic position. They should be able to just rotate Hurtfrisk over onto A at this stage. I guess being slightly cautious that someone could have already, I guess, been lurking around on the stairs or whatever, but I think they've realized now that's not the case. Watching mid just in case someone is there. Hurtfrisk will be able to get onto A as soon as that execute begins to come true, and then, well, it'll almost certainly have to, considering, as we said, they are being currently held on the flank. Time is slowly becoming an issue. They move pretty soon, it shouldn't be, but see, of course, because there's a few nades and a lot of resistance to come.
Last flank from Railway as well could be significant. This molly onto Heaven, but Psycho's up to the task, and Railway didn't land the shot initially. Now he's being checked. Sergis grabs another. This is falling apart. Davkos desperately trying to stabilize, does well to get one, but he's lost teammates and he's desperately low on health. Hides behind the molly for his second, nearly connects a third through the smoke. He's buying time though, and Hurtfrisk is there to help him out. Fully blinded up now, nothing Psycho can do. IRAE somehow again holding on to that A bomb site with all they can muster, as they do open things up. 3 rounds away now. First to 19, the magic number.
Yeah, and I think for INDE, they're probably going to want to ideally get 3 here on their CT side, considering their T side at points was a struggle. Once they got going, to be fair, with their own money, though, it looked pretty good. The only thing is the kind of streak of 4 rounds that they got towards the end, only a couple of them, I think, were gun rounds, and one of them, if I recall correctly, was slightly lacking on nades for Akuma as well. So you've got to remember that going into the OT, neither team really having money troubles. Well, Sensei, good catch right there. I think he actually had initially landed the wallbang and done a very slight amount of damage, and he's going to get a chance again. Florian backing away, rather. Surprisingly so, considering he knew that the op had just been on that angle as he took his teammate down. Hurtfrisk is going to get caught trying to push up on B as well. And Akuma have themselves a very solid 4-on-2. As long as they move together in this, they really shouldn't be having much trouble taking really either of these bomb sites. And just trading their way in effectively.
Avkost is trying to be as proactive as possible here. He's trying to do absolutely everything he can. Peeking in with the AWP, knows he's going to have to get multiple kills to stand a chance, but the bomb is bailing out. It's going over towards the B side of things, and it's going to be Railway tested, only good for the 1. Quick trade leaves Davkost. A 1v3 required, already a man deep in towards mid, unexpected. Psycho rips his head off, 16 all. Akuma's T side does bite.
Yeah, right back in, keeping it neck and neck as it was on the previous map as well for a while. Neither side struggling, of course, coming into this final round. I think Davkost has the up on the ground. Yeah, he spent 6,300, so he does. Again, IRAE really do need themselves this final round, ideally. CT side was where they've done a lot of their work, obviously, during that regulation. Second here, pretty big find if they can get it working, and no, Psycho actually gets himself the initial kill, but a nade back from Railway at least stops the fallback from happening, and it actually does really good damage onto Jakey also. I didn't think it would. He had been still back around this corner, I'm pretty sure, but just the way it landed was absolutely perfect. Expecting that player, I would presume, to start to fall back a little bit as well. So a 4-on-4. Decent trade usually for the T side. But I think IRAE are okay with this at the moment, and they have a pretty nice setup here as well, pushed forward on A. See if they get a chance to do anything with it. It does look like the players will begin to move in this direction. They have tons of mollies, that's the issue.
Got a lot of stalling utility. Nice molly in for Davkost. That'll start to flush him out. To drop a molly of his own. Bomb, as of yet uncommitted, is going to start making its way back once more towards that B side of things, or even through mid. Another molly onto the A ramp to stall a hit that isn't coming, and now Railway. The timings could be incredibly awkward for him. He's just backing off towards the B site itself. Floeen's about to occupy his position. Timing's going to be absolutely everything here. 3 players queuing towards mid. X5 ready, but he's not ready enough. DemQ rips his head off. Now they can split whichever way they fancy. Davkost alone on that A site. Does well to get one, and that's going to send them back into the more heavily stacked B site, but they're losing men. Floine on his own does well with 2. Keeps it competitive, and Sergiz with 29 HP finally puts him down. 1v1, Davkos switching it to the AK-47. The smoke will allow Sergiz to escape. Unintruded by the molly, and the timing is going to be absolutely everything here. Davkos has to drop, and if Sergiz is watching it, it's done. Davkos doesn't have the HP to be playing with it. A couple of missed shots from both. Sergiz retreats. Picks a new angle to hide behind, and Davkos is running out of time. There is a kit on site, but he has no info anymore. He has no idea where Sergiz is. He hides behind white box. Davkos yet to see his man. He's desperately trying to get close enough. He will get the clearance. There's a kit on the site, but the time is so desperately low. I don't think he's got anywhere near enough. He hasn't. 17 to 16. Akuma will have the lead going into the half by the narrowest of margins. Well, just 2 rounds required from their CT side to get it done. And considering the dominance they had at the start of things, that feels like it's not the most ridiculous ask in the world.
No, definitely not. But, I mean, again, they did also slow down as it went on. Partly because their economy got broken, because some of the rounds that they had been winning were close-ish ones as well. But also because INDE IRAE just woke up big time, and then they have continued to do so as well. Initially, during that 9-1 streak, it just looked like a completely different team, basically, to what we had seen back on Mirage, especially. They've certainly kind of found their form back, and let's see what can be done now on the T side as Psycho opens things up. Jakey had taken a pop shot as well and took some of the attention away. He needs to be careful. The nades are piling over on top of him. He's all over the bomb site, indicating that it is very likely to be this B hit. And while it does look like that was the plan for INDE IRAE, with the smokes coming in, with the utility coming in return from Akuma, it looks like it has forced them to slow things down. But they've got a lot of control here early on with the player pushed up. Only problem being, of course, they do want to try and salvage a kill, and well, there you go. Oh! Fantastic flash.
Oh, Psycho out in no man's land. Railway. How is he still not dead? Both players desperately know the pistol's out for Psycho, and he gets one. The 1 HP of Railway trades, 50 seconds left. Unbelievably, there is still time for them to bail out if they want. Railway has now Bogdaned himself an AWP, but he's got the pick. Sensei swings a little too keenly into things, and once again, Akuma are fumbling it. 2v3, Railway on 1 HP. 2 kills to his name, continuing to have impact. The timing's going to be absolutely everything here. Sergiz has a nade. That would be enough to finish Railway off. But at the moment, he has left MQ alone on this site. 20 seconds. INDE IRAE are burning a lot of time. Now they look to make the push. Bomb has gone across. Floine gets taken down in the process, but there's still time. 10 seconds. Bomb recovered. Nade over the top is going to catch the wrong man. Railway still up and kicking on that AWP. Smoke goes out, and Railway on 1 HP gets his 3rd. INDE IRAE level it out. The T side that keeps on giving, 17 apiece. Both teams needing to be flawless to shut it down in OT1.
Yeah, needing the 2 in a row. I mean, as you said, their Sensei giving a little bit too much away, peeking into that pixel angle. They had a strong 3-on-3. They had 2 players ready on the bomb site. I guess you're curious and you're afraid maybe that the players are going to start moving back towards A without really giving you any warning. But unfortunately, it's the peak that ends up costing them. And well, as you mentioned now, need to be flawless. 18 to 18 would mean a 2nd overtime. And while I think the fans would be happy with that, considering how exciting this series has been so far, neither of these teams are looking for that. They want to go ahead and get this closed out ASAP. Well, look at INDE IRAE moving towards B. We've seen this a couple times. I think Jakey may have just spotted a shadow or something there, because he does begin to fall back away. Just about makes it around the corner before the peak catches him as well. But Hurt Frisk's going to start charging through. They actually want to play this off with the contact. The flash is in, but Psycho's ready. Assistance as well up close, and I think both of those players haven't been spotted. INDE IRAE, you can see instantly calming things down. They slow down that push. And in the meantime, Akuma don't really look to do so. They keep on peeking in. It's risky for sure, but Jakey is doing it all. A triple for himself. The hat-trick found. Map and series point for Akuma. Can they manage to close it out now is the question, because they didn't get their chance during regulation. They were the ones that first who had to fight back into it. 1
shot at it in OT1. 1 chance. It's been incredibly scrappy. CT side was where Akuma had the overwhelming majority of their success. Will a pistol quick switch be the difference between INDE IRAE's immediate qualification and a lower bracket? Trying something a little different. First time in a while they've been over towards A, and X5 straight through the smoke has dealt with Sensei. Yorker tried to peek on I, and he has been punished. Early man advantage there now for the T side, and looking to just lurk around this ramp. The nade damage is good, but in the grand scheme of things, they need a lot more where that came from. Queuing up the A ramp now, and the CTs are still here. They're still out in no man's land. DemQ isolated. X5 gets the spray onto Sergis, and DemQ now is out on no man's land. An absolute island, does so well to even get one. Flashes in to try and give him some breathing room. There is damage to work with here, but the timings are going to be so nasty. Floen fully blinded is the next to fall, and somehow Akuma are making this work. 3 on 3, but they don't expect the next man out, and Railway gets the double spray down. Jakey left alone, this time a 1v3. OT2 beckons. If he cannot pull off what would have to be described as a miracle clutch, he's going to try and go through the smoke. Railway's there to spot it. It's 18 all. It's double OT. Of course it's double OT. It was never going to be anything else, Dean.
Yeah, it almost had to be, again, with how close these maps have been. Close on map number 1, even closer going right down to the full 30 on map number 2, and we're going to get maybe even multiple overtimes here to close out the Vertigo. With so much on the line, it really is what you want, with both teams just giving it their all. And again, I mean, there's no players even that are standing out as having a poor performance, rather. It's just so close between everyone on both teams. I love what we're getting here as well. It's going to keep up as we don't really get much of a pause at all between the overtimes. Both teams just looking to get right back into the action. Floen takes a small bit of nade damage, but it doesn't look like Akuma are going to stick around the challenge for the actual ramp control too much. So I think he's happy enough to concede a little bit of his health in order to take the control this early on into the round. We'll see what Akuma look to do, because back on their CT side, they did love to call that later ramp aggression in off the back of kind of just in the IRAE sitting around for so long. It did tend to work pretty well.
Surely thinking about a boost here. 2 players queued up behind the metal.
Yeah.
The IRAE with the ramp control. Nothing to show for it yet. Sensei still lurking around towards scaffolding as well, trying to be a nuisance on that AWP. Molotov will finally flush him out. It's going to be this straight A hit. It's an absolute brawl. Railway with the freebie. Sergis fully blind. He doubles up. Davkos flash does so much for $200. There's a fast flank in from Psycho at the very least, but this is looking very dire indeed. Psycho gets one, but he's losing teammates on the site, and now he's down as well. Jakey once more asked of it. This time it's 1v4. He can only manage the first. India IRAE start as they mean to go on the T side.
Kicking things off on a high note. I mean, I think at this stage, if you're either of these teams, you just want to try and take a flawless half with the full 3 rounds if you want to actually confirm yourself as having a strong enough half to close it out, because it seems like otherwise it's just way too unpredictable. Both teams step it up whenever the call is kind of made for them to do so. Again, keeping it incredibly exciting for us at least, but I'm sure the players at points can get a little bit frustrated with how some of these rounds have gone down on both sides, really. One of those matches, so careful. That wasn't far off your teammate. It's actually Hurtfrisk who takes a small bit of damage. I'm not sure how that's gone down with not really much being done as of yet. Well, a very aggressive hold down on the ramp, which is something we haven't seen from Akuma in a while. This is their attempt to swap things up. Multiple players waiting on that other side of the smoke, and unfortunately only one for the initial man, but Sergis, he stands tall, taking a double spray down before eventually being wiped off of the server. But we're leaving them in a 3-on-2. I think that's a position he's more than happy with. Davkos and Hurtfrisk, they've got a lot to do to try and recover this one, especially with the damage done onto Hurtfrisk as well. It may be only 52, but when you're outnumbered, that's going to make things just that bit more complicated with that money.
Does manage to flush one man out. Nice flashbang as well, but it's quickly extinguished. And as you can see, Hurtfrisk, you're absolutely right. Half HP, he's trying to get what he can done, but through the smoke, he's found by Sensei, and Davkos is left 1v3. He's got time. 45 seconds, he gets the initial pick. 1v2, he disengages. Limited to no information on where these remaining players are. He's going to double back and try and take the B side. Time of the essence at this point. Akuma really can't rotate. They can't afford to get split. They have to play this together. They know he's on the AWP, and he's just going to go for this plant now. Smoke to allow him to cross the site. Molotov to follow. He should be able to get this bomb down. Fast rotation coming in all the while, though. His timing's going to be absolutely everything. Psycho already behind the first gen. He's no scope, doesn't connect. He's on the P250. He's trying to do everything he can, Davkos, but he's isolated and he's so desperately alone. Missed shot, punished. 19 all. Akuma will not sit down on this CT side.
Nope, back and forth, around for a round. It doesn't seem to matter what side either of the teams are on either. Both just very, very capable and both fully in the game mentally at the moment. It's always tough to constantly be trading rounds back and forth and to still keep the belief in yourself, but neither of these teams at the moment struggling with it. Never down and out, and well, a double upset up on the T side. See how this one goes, of course, for INDE IRAE. It's a risky thing to be pulling through. They could, of course, have a rifle there, I believe, for him to go back for, maybe in a while, flowy, and perhaps just trying to work off of this spawn. And well, there is a player up on top of the wooden panel right there, but I don't think Jakey's going to be dropping down into the angle that an op could be posted on. Been playing this position pretty often. Usually does so for the info, just drops a nade and then falls back off. That's exactly what he's looking to do here. Indeed, should do some decent damage as well. Yeah, hurt Frisk down to 70. Even the 10 damage on the Flowian helps out when it's M4s that you're working with.
Timing's going to be everything. Jakey's tucked. He spots two. I don't think they've seen him. Flo's not looking for him. Jakey will get the frag. Smokes go down to give him some breathing room. They're trying to flank out through mid, but Railway has been spotted and sprayed down by DemQ. This is beautifully played at the moment by Akuma. Sensei still holding the ramp. Timing's going to be everything, but he gets the freebie. Traded out at the very least, but again, 2-on-4 for INDE IRAE. They're going to try and sneak out onto B, but now they've been spotted. Jakey screaming for the rotation. Has the support of Psycho, just has to stay hidden. Nade chips away at Hurt Frisk. Wallbang won't connect. The AK cannot bang 90. Davkos takes a leg down to 5 HP. He'll have to retreat. 30 seconds. They need to group. They need something. Davkos still trying to work the angle over towards A. Hurt Frisk is bringing the bomb around, but there is presence on this site. MQ tucked behind the self boost. A man now pushing lane as well. Sergey is taking swathes of map control away. Should be a free pick. Davkos is now just faking it. The bomb is going to try and make it out B, and it's never going to work. DemQ and Psycho make it 20-19. Akuma in a fantastic position here. 2 T-sided rounds, all that is required.
Yeah, we say all that is required, but if INDE IRAE get this first round, suddenly we're at 20-20, and it's almost a blank canvas once again, with both teams needing to go flawless with the remainder of those rounds, which just almost seems impossible at this stage. So I really don't know what to believe. See how things go down. If Akuma can get themselves up to 21 off the back of this initial round, then perhaps that'll be enough. And what the hell? Railway? I don't know. I mean, he charges into your mid. Maybe he was stuck to the tracks or something. Not too sure what happened right there. Either way, that is a risky play considering the current situation his team find themselves in. And well, you've also got another man now pushed up on the ramp over an A. Flowian, I think, realizing sticking around here could be an issue, as he heard a couple of footsteps on the other side. Made in to try and do some damage. Doesn't do a ton, but every small bit of damage at this stage is definitely going to help them out, considering they do have that man disadvantage to work their way back from.
They want to swing this. They're looking for it, but Jakey's dealt with one, and now X5 can't afford to. He has to fall back to the relative safety of sight. They wanted to set up for that. They just needed a flashbang, and it would have been a field day. Instead, 3-on-5 now. Damage done onto several players. Don't get me wrong. This is still very winnable for INDE IRAE. And as the nades continue to fly in, these players continue to be tagged up. Everyone is on A for the CT side. They've made their call. For now, at least, it seems like the right one. Hurtfrisk continuing to aggress with 40 seconds left on the clock, trying to get that info, but the bomb is actually making its way back down the ramp. They are not committing. And this rotation could be absolutely key. The CTs are very heavily stacked up here. X5 is going to call that ramp clear, though. They are going to start scrambling the rotation. You can see the T's trying to get things lined up. Davkos is covering the cross. Hurtfrisk is just going to dump utility to try and buy precious seconds. He sets himself up on first gen. Psycho has still got to transfer that bomb across. There are 2 players here to try and deny, but over the top of the smoke, Jakey just causes enough of a distraction. It's a 1-for-1, but it'll do. Psycho the next to frag out, and X5... has he got another hero clutch in him? It's a 1v3. The afterplant positions are fantastic for the T side, and now they've spotted their man. They've dealt with their man. Akuma, 2 opportunities to put the final nail in it.
Yeah, we've seen them have 1 chance the previous time. Maybe the 2 is what they need. They had 0 chances technically the first time, obviously, because they were the ones, as we said, fighting back in to get the OT. You're right. It will be heartbreaking if they manage to fight all the way to this stage and then just fall short. Obviously, the same would be said for Akuma, but with INDE IRAE coming in as the underdogs in this game by, in my opinion, a pretty decent margin, it would be heartbreaking for them to have done all of this, unfortunately, to fall short. But Akuma are that sort of team that they're just so difficult to deal with once they start fragging. They've got so much firepower across the board, following them since their days back in Wendigo Academy. And, well, they definitely put in the work, and well, Sensei through the smoke catches Flowian, who I think bursted off a couple of bullets just before the contention there as well. That may have slightly given away his position. The boost for Jakey catches Hurt Frisk and also notes that the off was playing up close. This is going to be a tough position here for Railway to try and hang on with. Let's have actually the M4. Apologies, I thought it was the upper. Of course, I believe over
Psycho.
on A currently. What a shot.
2v5. Akuma are looking to do it here and now, and they're not committing to B. They're dragging the rotations. And as a result, as the bomb makes his way up the A ramp, it's making his way up to a wide open site. Psycho just has to stay alive, but he continues to find kills. Davkost asked to try and pull a 1v5 out of absolutely nowhere. Psycho is first issue. He'll hit that shot, and now they're all over the shop, and Sergiz will do it. 22-19. Akuma qualify for IEM Fall CIS.